There they are. Nina! Woo! Now, I am going to give you a little help because you're going to be talking for a few minutes. So, hey everyone, can you please give a big round of applause to Nina?
Can you guys hear me?
There you go.
And then I click. That. Okay. So I know I can tell you guys are getting antsy to work out and you've got things to do. Thank you for coming on your Saturday. I really want you to tune into what I have to share with you. A year ago today, at this first Saturday that we had up in Sugar House, I was an Emerald coach and I had made a lot of big goals and they just weren't panning out. And I remember the fall that year previous, like seeing my friends go diamond and it wasn't happening for me. And something changed in me after that Super Saturday, and I created this plan basically, and that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. I don't really want to go over a lot about me. You can see it on the slide. But my story is that I just started Beachbody because I wanted to lose some. What is that? Scary. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to lose some baby weight and make some friends. Maybe I just need to like hold it. Okay. And since then I've had a lot of amazing things happen for me with Beachbody, and I just really, really appreciate that. And I love my team. If you're on my team, will you guys stand up? I love you. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I don't really want to talk a lot about myself, so we're going to go right into it. So, how many of you guys would love to go diamond, like, let's say the next month, 2 months, 3 months? Yeah. Or we get to say rake advance. I want to make the argument that y'all really deserve to make the goal to add 20 coaches in a 3-month period. I know a lot of, this is what I was doing before, is I was adding like coaches here and there, and I'd add a few, or I maybe add a bunch in 1 month, and then I wouldn't add any for several months. But what I've learned is that when you add coaches in a blitz together, whether that's going to be more than 20 for you or less, but if you can make that goal, like amazing, amazing things will happen for your business, and we're going to talk about how that's going to happen. But now is really the time to recruit. Honestly, it's the spring. This is the prime time to sign up coaches. And so why not make that goal now? And also, it's totally okay to set a base goal and a reach goal. So your base is like your non-negotiable goal. So maybe that's 10 coaches and your reach is 20. It's good to set both. I do that when I set goals. I set like my non-negotiable, like Success Club is non-negotiable for me every month. Like I will always do it. But I always set bigger goals along that too. And you know, don't be afraid also to enlist support. So when you start to reach those reach goals, something happens and people begin to self-sabotage or they get into fear. And that's when it's the best time to reach out to your upline or to get a success coach or to do some personal development or go to a training or whatever it is you need to do to enlist support to help you reach your next level. Okay, so what this is going to do for you is it's going to create momentum. So I want to give you an analogy that I heard in January that just totally changed the way I was thinking about how I was recruiting. And it was that I was basically, my business was an airplane, and it was taxiing on a runway. And I was wanting it to go off, but I wasn't creating any momentum, any change. I was just doing the same things over and over, just giving it, you know, the little bit amount, like my minimum goals, like I was just hitting those, and I wasn't ever pushing myself. So I would hit Success Club 5, and I would maybe sign up a coach every month, but I was never pushing myself. So I was just on this runway. And I was listening to a webinar, and the guy said, like, if you do that, if you just hit your minimum and you really don't push yourself, eventually you're going to run out of runway. So that's what I was seeing with other coaches in the network, were people who were like, okay, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but I guess this isn't just for me, and they quit. So maybe your runway is 3 months. I mean, we see coaches whose runway is maybe a month, and others coaches' runways can be years. But eventually, unless you find a way to help your business take off, you're going to run out of runway and you're going to feel discouraged. But you're the one who's in charge of how long that runway is. And so as you create momentum, that's when you'll take off. And then you'll be posting up here and things start to happen. So that's what happened for me last spring was I was like, okay, I was an Emerald coach. I had a few business building coaches. Most people on my team weren't active. And I decided that I was going to like quadruple my team in 4 months. And it happened because the momentum started to build and I got better. Basically, like, I got better at recruitment. I got better at talking to people because I was practicing so much. But really what it all comes down to is your mindset. And I really want you to ask yourselves where you're operating from. So this is another analogy that really fit me last spring, and it was, this man was talking about what was your source. So he gave the example of a bank account, so I'll give that as your example, but you could be your team or your network or whatever. So he said, if you look at your bank account or your team and you see it as just a little stream or a little lake, all you see is what's there, and you don't see the possibility of what's out there for you. And so you look at that, like let's say it's your bank account and you see like, you know, maybe you have a few $100s in there, you go into fear because that's all you have. And what, like, how are you going to pay your bills or what, like all these things. And so if you look at your team and all you see is, oh my gosh, like I have 5 coaches and half of them are inactive, and you just focus on the negative part of your business, that's all you're going to see. When really what the truth is that you are connected to abundance, but it's all about mindset. And so instead you realize that your little stream is connected to Niagara Falls. And Niagara Falls is not going to run out of water. It's going to keep going and keep flowing, and that flows through you. And so when I put that mindset on myself, on my team, and was like, you know what? There is enough. There's enough for me to be a Star Diamond coach. There's enough for all of my coaches to be a Star Diamond coach. There's enough people to become coaches. There's enough customers for all of us to be successful All-Stars. Once I changed that mindset and I really believed it, then the abundance came. And I've seen that on my team. I've seen that with the girls I have on my team who are diamonds. I've seen that with friends who have, you know, they have that mindset shift, and everything changes for them. Now you're probably asking, like, why isn't she talking about how to recruit coaches? And I think out of everything I'm talking about today, this is the most important. And it's because it honestly isn't about the how. It's all about the commitment. If you make the commitment to your goal, you will find out how. There are so many resources to you. You'll have amazing ideas come to you, or you'll see something another coach is doing and you'll try it, or something you've been doing will suddenly start working, where before it wasn't working. But really, it's all about the why. What I see happen so many times with coaches is they come to me and they message me and they're like, Nina, I set this goal and I'm really struggling. Like, could you just give me some advice? Like, what are some steps I could take? And I'll give them steps they can take. And I'll say, you know, go watch this webinar or watch this training. But really, like, if they get 100% committed, it will happen. I know it will happen. That's all there is to it. It's like that quote, do or do not, there is no try. Like, take the word try out of your vocabulary. It's not about trying. You're doing it. You know, I'm adding 20 coaches this spring. Are you going to join me? Like, that's it. I'm committed 100%, and I know you can make that commitment too. Whatever your goal is going to be, it's about making the commitment and not about the how. But, like I said, the how will be revealed. And the last thing I just wanted to quickly touch on is just, these are some of the things that I started doing last year. So I started doing those what are coaching groups. I learned that on a national wake-up call. So listen to the national wake-up calls. It's just a group where it's like a free group, and I'm like, hey, come learn about coaching. And I put my coaches in there, and we talk for 5 days about coaching, and we share videos about how much coaching has changed our lives. And people would get in there, and they'd be like, I want to be a part of this group of friends. I want this in my life too. I improved my challenge groups. I really took a step up in my challenge groups and also in assisting my leaders to do the things as well. I don't really want to go over all this list because honestly, like, I feel like if you're plugged in and you're committed, you're going to find all of this stuff. Like, you will. You'll find it on your team. You'll find it in the back office. You'll find it on the national makeup call. You'll have your own ideas that are like brilliant, and you'll do them, and then you're not going to be afraid to share them with other people. You're going to share them with each other. So we're going to learn with each other, and we'll be getting better and better as we go. But it's all about setting that clear intention, setting that 100% commitment. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter, like, it honestly doesn't matter how. You'll do it. I know you'll do it. And I think all the star diamonds in here, or the diamonds, or anyone who's rank advanced, can probably go back and identify that moment when that happened for them. When they stopped worrying about all the mechanics, and they just knew in their heart that it was going to happen, that they were going to make their goal no matter what. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and have a great workout.